Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Welcome. It is 10 o'clock. If folks can start getting their way back to their spots, I would love to get going with our great news from our marketing department. Yay, I know. These presentations are so much easier to give when there really is good information. So we've got good information ahead for you today. All right. So first of all, thank you for being here. I know there are so many opportunities and so many different events you can be involved in, classes you can be at, and the fact that you chose to be here really means a lot. So thank you for being here to learn more about what we're doing. We are going to have a team effort today. We're going to start by introducing our team. I'll then go into how our sales and occupancy numbers are looking and how they're looking in comparison to more of a national level. I'll update you on the strategy. Just what are we doing to continue to have those inquiries come in and those sales go up? And then most importantly, how can you help in this endeavor? So without further ado, we're going to introduce our team members. It was funny when we were getting ready for this, I felt like we just did this presentation and didn't realize that it didn't come annually. It comes based on the alphabetical order of the director's last name. So we did just do this. It was only about 6 months ago. So we are going to change it up. Last time we did a lot of discussion on who our team members are, who we are personally, what do we do outside of the organization, and then what do we do in here. Since I feel like you all just heard that, we're switching that to a brief introduction of our team. And then they have been kind enough to respond to, I asked one question of each of them and asked if they could focus on that, and it really is a job-related question. So we will introduce our team based on order of their seniority. So our first team member up is Brandy Davis. She is our senior sales counselor. And the question we have for Brandy is, what do our residents say to her and her prospects when she is touring them? Here you go, Brandy.
And I'm in trouble now, that's right, whoever said that. I want to say that the majority is always good. They always say really good things, and I really appreciate it because it's a small thing, but it goes a long way. Okay, so I jotted down some sweet things that you say, and I mean, even just to smile and say hello or welcome is great, it's wonderful. There's so many activities. If you get bored here, it's your fault. That's one of the things they say. Move here sooner than later. Residents have invited prospective residents to see their home, which is very nice. Residents have dinner with prospective residents and ask their questions and answer their questions about the ARC. Their children say this is the best gift they could have given them because you will be taken care of throughout your life. The residents have invited prospective residents to join them at an event. And it's really cool if they're talking about, I love knitting, and the resident says, we have a great knitting group. It meets on, whatever day and time. That's very helpful and encouraging. Residents have, this is kind of funny, but we had a resident, let me see if she's here. So I had this couple and I was showing them around, and she comes down the elevator and she looks like this. And I said, well, what's going on? And she says, I was touring, and she said, I went up took the elevator up, and I decided I'm coming from the torture chamber and the physical terrorist. And I said, what? And she said, yeah, it was. I said, was it physical therapy or Carrie? She said, both of them. So So anyway, the couple I was touring really got a kick out of that. We were all laughing. And last but not least, moving to the Ark is the best decision they had ever made. And that's awesome. Of course, I don't want you to say that if you don't mean it. But if you mean it, it's great when you say it. So I just want to share a few things thank you, that you've said. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Brandy. It is so fun sometimes when they come in after their tours and share the kindness and the enthusiasm that residents have shared. So it makes such a difference. Thank you for being so welcoming. Our next team member is Johnny Mana. He is our media content and graphic designer. I asked John, what does he do in his role that helps our marketing team increase referrals? So, John.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Johnny Mana, 20 years in the industry, 3.5 years in the community. How do I help the marketing team increase referrals? So as the media content and graphic designer, I'm a crucial partner in the marketing team to drive more referrals. With the guidance of the marketing director, I facilitate in posting engaging, fun, and informative social media content that educates, delights our current audiences, and turn them into advocates, making them much more likely to share our message with their friends and family. And of course, this process is a group effort with the rest of the marketing team, HR, resident services, IT, housekeeping, dining team, and above all, our residents. So beyond social media posts, my primary goal is to elevate our visibility and recognition by creating beautiful marketing designs that adhere to our branding guidelines. This commitment to consistent and high-quality visual messaging ensures that the ARC is better known to the general public, building professional trust and a strong reputation. This combination of a compelling social media content and recognizable brand identity creates a memorable visual presence that directly empowers people to confidently recommend our community. Here are some of the samples that we did. Thank you. Brent.
Thank you, John. And I just referenced to one of the folks who was up, there's two different pieces here. This piece, that is out at our front desk, and it is a trifold. We had previously had materials to advertise independent living, assisted living, healthcare. This is all in one. So it's a trifold that shows beautiful pictures of what we do, and it breaks down each of those service lines. And John did a great job up on top. He included a map with some pretty cool graphics about how close we are to the Riverwalk, how close we are to shopping areas, to the bases. So feel free to take those, to share those, and Diana will share a little bit more about what she does in the community, but that is a tool that she uses quite a bit, because we don't want to just say we are only independent living or we only assisted. We have so much in one place. So having a person like John on staff is pretty unusual in a CCRC. Most folks contract out for all of their graphic design. Having John on site allows us to get this done quickly, to get it done professionally, and he knows who we are. He knows the messaging we're trying to get out, so it is such a blessing to have John on staff with us. So thank you, John. All right. Diana De Leon is our assisted living marketing counselor. Her role is shifting, and the question I asked her to share with us today is, what does her expanded role in the community look like? So while she used to focus just on helping folks learn about and transition into assisted living, she is out in the community much more. So she will explain what that looks like. Okay.
Good morning, everyone. As many of you know, my role has traditionally been the marketing counselor for Crestway and Lakeside Assisted Living, which includes touring, providing information, and preparing admission agreements for our new residents coming into assisted living. My new role has me engaging with the outside in the community, promoting the art as a CCRC, Community Care Retirement Center, and sharing the news of our expanded eligibility. Duties include brainstorming potential partnerships or methods of engagements with the local community, maintaining a calendar of outreach events, and working closely with community partners to plan and execute various outreach activities. Okay, I attend community events and I deliver the art campus-wide brochure to various businesses, and I collect information to focus on upcoming events that will benefit the art. I also conduct weekly visits I do weekly visits to hospitals to go visit the art residents, okay, that are there. I know that I've seen some of you there, okay. Some of you don't stay there long enough, so when I get there, you're gone. But I try to get around, okay. And that's it. Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much, Diana. Our team really understood the value of this role as we expanded our eligibility, because when we were marketing to a really small group of folks, that's a very different marketing strategy. Most CCRCs have a person dedicated just to being a community liaison. So it made a lot of sense in Diana's role to be able to shift some of those duties from internal marketing to external as well, and she's jumped right in. So thank you for being flexible enough to change on the dime. You enjoy it and you're doing great at it, so thank you. All right, and Crystal Duran is our other sales counselor for independent living, and we asked Crystal, how can residents be most helpful when she is touring her prospects? So welcome, Crystal.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you for coming. I want to take a moment and talk about something incredibly important. How each of you can make, sorry.
Yeah, Crystal's not there. There we go.
All right. Sorry about that. How each of you can make a meaningful difference when we're touring prospects through the ARC. You may not realize it, but you are the heartbeat of this community. When people walk through our doors, they don't just see the buildings or the amenities, they see all of you. They feel your warmth, your friendliness, and the sense of home that you can create. And the truth is that you make a huge impact. A simple action goes a long way. A smile, a wave, a quick welcome, or even sharing a small piece of your experience here. Those moments speak louder than any brochure or tour script ever could. When you share your story, why you chose the ARC, what you love, and how this community has enriched your life, that becomes the most powerful testimonial we can offer. Prospects trust you, they connect with you, your words help them imagine their own future here. These are the ways you can help us every single day, and they matter more than you know. So I want to say thank you. Thank you for being kind, thank you for being welcoming, and thank you for making the ARC not just a place to live, but a home. Because of you, it's also a wonderful place to work. We appreciate you more than you know. Thank you all.
Thank you, Crystal. It has been so wonderful having two really strong sales folks on our team. It's making a world of difference, so thank you both for all of your hard work. And finally, we have Crystal Ball. Crystal is our administrative transaction coordinator. She loves public speaking, by the way. So Crystal is going to show that more than doing the incredible amount of work she does for all of our paperwork and our closings, she has a number of other talents up her sleeve.
Y'all have probably seen me running around with rugs over my shoulder, bags, moving furniture, buying furniture from estate sales. And I'm doing that because we are staging units. And it has proven very successful. Some stats I found on Google was that staged homes sell 73 to 87% faster than vacant. Empty homes often look smaller, feel uninviting, and lack emotional connection. And the average days on the market for staged homes is 23, and unstaged is 184. So, once somebody found out that I like to decorate, she's kind of run with it. I think we have 5 staged right now. And some fun stuff that's happened. We had a couple touring a Lakeside, and Brandy came in and told me that she hated the kitchen. And those are custom wood cabinets. They're beautiful. And I said, let me stage it before y'all do anything. So I happened to be there when the couple came back after it was staged. I was cleaning up, and she took a foot into the door and said, this is not the same unit. She now resides in that unit with those wood cabinets. Never mentioned it again. So that is the power of staging. These are not a lot of great pictures, but we do have some other stats that we had another unit that was vacant for 5 months. After I staged it, it sold in 2 weeks. I have another unit that sold in 6 weeks. My greatest challenge is we have one that's been vacant for 3.5 years, and I staged it last week. So that I hope to go pretty quick. Is it up there? Yeah, it's this one right here. So she can attest. And if y'all see me running around and you want to come peek, please. I've had a lot of y'all come peek in and see me doing my work. So come on in. So that's what I'm doing on my, my spare time.
And there is one more that Crystal staged, and there are many more she could show. One of the most fun parts of being a manager is starting to learn what people's softer skills are that may not be on their resumes. And it has been just so delightful working with these folks and doing what my job is to help just pull out what those strongest talents are and support them in areas where we need more support, and couldn't be happier to be working with these folks. I am really excited to announce that we have created one more role in our marketing department. And when I show you some of our stats later, it'll become clear just how different things are looking now than they were even 4 or 5 months ago. So starting next week, next Tuesday, Tilly Frederick will be joining us as the marketing manager. So it'll be a managerial role. I'll be the director, and then Tilly will be marketing manager. I had the great privilege to work for about 5 years with Tilly at another community. She's had 6 total years experience working within a CCRC. She is currently the marketing director from the community where I begged and pleaded and yanked and pulled and plotted for her to get here. She is a strong marketing director. She had a lot of role in fund development, so she's aware of events, aware of promoting us as a nonprofit entity, some areas where we really needed some strength. She is a guru at AI, data, analytics, graphic design. She'll be a nice backup for John as well. And this is a picture of Tilly last week at the Leading Age Texas conference that I went to. Out of the statewide applicants, Tilly was awarded as the 2026 Leading Age Texas Outstanding Young Professional. So we are getting a gem with Tilly, and my former CEO, of whom I am still very dear friends, said that's the closest she came to Xing our friendship was when I ask Tilly to join us, but she agrees. This is a great opportunity for her to grow, and just really thrilled she'll be here. Tilly will do a wide range of duties. Some of the areas that I know we need a lot of help with is with our database. Our CRM is old, it's not cleaned up. We're actually looking at some upgraded updated database CRM structures we can use, and she will hit the ground running with helping us elevate that. She, again, she can do graphic design, she can be a liaison with our partner in Hearst Media. She knows data, she knows analytics in a way that I am not too ashamed to say I'm not keeping up with all of the advances in the marketing world that are spinning almost out of control. And Tilly is. It may have something to do with her age. I don't know, but I'm not where I once was, so it is delightful to be able to bring Tilly on board. So please welcome her. If you see her next week, we will have her out and about, and I can't wait for her to start all the projects I've been waiting until she gets here. So, on to the next section. How are our sales numbers doing? What does our strategy look like? And then again, how can you all continue to help? So, if you look here, we have this separated into 2025 and 2026. So we can see what the inquiries looked like last year, and we can see what they looked like this year. So, this right here, what a profound difference from the number of inquiries we had January and February into the number of inquiries we are now receiving. Anyone have any idea what happened to eligibility? Yes. That would be rather simplistic if that was the only answer to that. We were working behind the scenes for months to really assess, as part of our internal marketing team, what advertising contracts were working, what weren't, what data was showing that we might need to change up some of what we were doing. I'll talk about this more later, but we did consolidate all of that under one group, under Hearst Media, which is a very large national company. We were supposed to go live with them in February. Kind of took a little while to get all of our wheels under us, so our go live date really went in March. So between expanded eligibility, having Hearst Media online with us, our TV series started in March. We just had a whole lot hit all at once, which is wonderful. So again, I'm so grateful that my CEO and CFO had the foresight to come to me and say, how's your team doing? What do our inquiries look like? Are they keeping up with it? And they are doing amazingly well. And it was time to add another person to be able to help with this caseload that is only increasing, and we hope it will only continue to increase. So then how are our sales, how is our occupancy looking compared to other nonprofit CCRCs nationally? This is as close of an apples to apples comparison we can get in this aging services field. And I wanted to bring it out chronologically to you. So if we look at where we were last year, the end of the first quarter, our independent living was just at 85.5% occupancy, and I know how worrisome that was to everybody. In 1 year's time, we have gone up 4.5% occupancy in independent living. So we are not quite where we want to be for the national averages, but so this is the end of March. Our current occupancy is 89.5. We expect 4 more move-ins in the month of June, which should get us up, and I'm hoping we will begin to stay within that 90% occupancy range. I know most people here are most interested in independent living, and in fact, that's how our business model is set up. We have a lot more independent living than anybody else. than any other service line, and we need to keep independent living full to keep the service lines full underneath it. But if you look, again, our occupancy over the last number of months across the board is doing very well in comparison to national standards. This in particular, we are very close to where we ought to be compared to the rest of the country and nonprofit CCRCs. I, again, only expect those numbers to get better. Part of the reason is we're exceeding budget. We had 38 sales budgeted for this year. We will close on 42 by the end of next month, which is the end of our fiscal year. But what's even more important is how many we have pending move-ins. 19 people have already given us entrance fees, and they're waiting to move in here. So we know people move through the continuum. We know people pass away, and that impacts our numbers. But 19 is a huge number for us to, as I say, continue to see those occupancy numbers go up to the percentages we really want. This statistic is my favorite because our team only has so much. We can't impact who moves out. We can't impact who goes to higher levels of care. All we can do is sell. But if you look at the number of homes that are either occupied or reserved, we're up to 94.2%. Yay, team. And I thought I was sharing amazing news 6 months ago when I said we are at 92.4% either occupied or reserved. That's gone up 2 percentage points in 6 months. So we are on a roll. I just came back from a conference last week. The forecast is astonishingly strong for CCRCs and for independent living. As you know, this silver tsunami of people who are aging are hitting and understanding we're a great place for them to come. Had you not heard silver tsunami? Oh, sorry. I've heard this for about 10 years. Silver tsunami is coming, and one of the things we found last week is, it's good for us in this field and in this industry, is that the number of people wanting and needing independent living and senior living in general far exceeds the number of physical buildings to occupy those folks. So, and there aren't a lot of new development. There are a lot of repositioning. There are a lot of growth on current campuses, but the money is not going into completely new development. It's going into repositioning the campuses that already exist. So I don't know how good that is for people looking for homes. It's great for us knowing that more people are out there than there are units available. I don't expect anyone to see this whole slide. The only reason I'm putting it up there is because, as I referenced, when we talk, these next number of slides will discuss this strategy that we're using. One of the most important strategy changes we made was this consolidated marketing. So what we do, I used to meet with all of these different vendors quarterly, and they'd give me their numbers and their updates, and I could never wrap my head around, wait a minute, we saw a change 2 months ago, we're behind on this, how are we gonna get quicker with all of it? I now meet with folks every other week. So I've got a once a month data analysis meeting, a second strategy meeting, so that never more than 2 weeks goes without all of our teams. And these team meetings are great because I do a Zoom call with them, John is with me, and there's like 9 different people all in one spot, and we're all talking the same talk. We're trying to get the most creative collateral out there. We're trying to use the most broad-based and budget-friendly strategies to be able to reach the most number of people. And again, you don't need to know all those numbers other than we've got people that do know what those numbers are and what they mean, and we can adjust them, engage them, make changes quickly and way more agile, having that all in one place. How many of you have seen any of the TV segments that we've done? Okay, a good number. Now you're going to get to see them again. I am so pleased. We have contracted, almost coming up on a full year, with Leslie Comet Osborne as our PR consultant. She used to be a TV broadcaster, has great depth of connections within the field. Working with her, we pitched to Sinclair to run TV segments for a full year with us acting as subject matter experts. This could be extremely costly because they think what we're doing is a great public service. They have, our first 6 segments are free, so we're not even paying for these. And these run twice a month, every month. We are working on continuing to pitch them that because we are such good public servants, we should have them just keep paying for those, but we're working on that strategy still. So
This
here's
is
the
sponsored
first
by
one.
Army Residence Community. Well, what does it really mean to age with confidence? Cordero explores how the Army Residence Community is creating a vibrant, supportive environment where seniors can truly feel at home.
Healthy aging is something that we can learn more about, and the team here at Army Residence Community is here to help. Joining me, we have Terry Jackson here, and she's here to help us with the living. Thank you so much for having us here today.
Thank you for being here.
Tell us a little bit about the Ark. What is this place?
Yes, so the Army Residence Community is a beautiful retirement community that is on 138 acres in northeast San Antonio. We have over 700 residents who call the Ark home, and those residents have vibrant, active lifestyles. The campus is gorgeous. We've got walking paths, ponds, we've got numerous places for residents to meet with one another and have an engaged social lifestyle. We also have a number of living options so that if their needs change over time, they can have all the support that they need. And we're just so excited to share some of our expert insights with you all today so that you can make better choices and more confident choices on how to age well.
And now the Ark is also known as Continuum of Care Community. What does that mean?
Yeah, so continuum of care is really critical because for folks who may move in here when they are vibrant and healthy, those needs are going to change over time. So a continuum of community offers everything they'll need for the rest of their lives. So from assisted living, memory care, full-time nursing, they will never have to leave this community. All their needs are met right here.
If I understand correctly, the Ark recently expanded eligibility. What does that mean for folks?
Yes, so for almost 40 years, the Ark has been serving primarily military retirees and their spouses. We recently opened to all qualifying seniors over age 62. So we're so excited to invite the outside community in and see what an incredibly vibrant community this is.
Now, we're going to be doing a couple of these segments for a while. What can viewers at home expect to see when they're looking to, put a loved one here? Or even those who are watching, they're like, hey, I want to retire here. What will viewers be able to see?
So 40 years of experience obviously creates a number of subject matter experts in one place. And that is our goal, is to bring our expertise into the outside community so that folks can feel confident when they have questions about brain health, good nutrition as you're aging, home safety, how to downsize properly, and just how to better anticipate those changing needs that are going to happen over time.
Yeah. And where can viewers learn more about the Ark? Because there's a lot to see here.
There is a lot to see. Please check out all of our socials. Go see us on our website, armyresidence.com. And we'd love to have you come and visit and meet some of these unbelievable residents who will welcome you as our new neighbors.
And for more information on Army Residence Community, you can give them a call at 210-646-5315 or head to their website at armyresidence.com.
All
right. That was our first one. Thank you. That is harder than it looks, I'm just gonna say. And I'm so grateful to our team members who have never been in front of a camera and are still stepping outside of their comfort zone enough to do this. I'm gonna show our second one. This most recent one was done with Carrie. I don't see our volunteer here. Sam. All right, we will roll this one.
Well, what does it really mean to age with confidence? Cordero explores how the Army residence community is encouraging a strong balance of community where seniors can focus on fitness and health.
Carrie Mendez is here to share with us the importance of maintaining balance because as we age, we want to have that quality of life that we all want. That is a balanced life. Carrie, thank you so much for joining us. I think when we talk about balance, I think a lot of people think, oh, that's easy, you know? But as we age, it does get a little difficult. Why is that so important for us to maintain that balance?
Important predictors of whether or not someone will maintain their independence over the course of their life. Here at the ARC, we offer daily a balance and core class that I personally teach.
Okay.
So we do a lot of different exercises, but if I had to say one thing is the gold standard would be a simple single-legged stand.
Why the single-legged stand?
When you walk, if you think about it, you're always on one leg or the other. So if you're unstable standing on one leg, it transfers over to your ability to walk in your gait.
Got it. And you have a demonstration. Let's take a look over here. What is this and what's an exercise that you can demonstrate for us?
Okay, so the single-legged stance, the device here is called an S3 balance device. It was designed by a physical therapist. We have several of them here on site. I use them in the balance class for people that have limited mobility or need a more stable base. Sam is going to stand on one leg, and how he's going to do that first is with the most support possible. So he's going to grab with both hands, a nice firm grip.
Okay.
He's going to stand with all of his weight on his right leg, and he's going to lift his left heel up. He seems pretty stable there. So the next step would be to lighten the grip. Now he's freestanding. You want to strive for about 20 to 30 seconds, and then you can come off and relax. But for someone like you, we'll put you at another level. We're going to make it even more difficult. So you're going to step onto the pad with both feet.
Okay.
Find a gaze about 45 degrees in the distance. You ready?
Okay.
Which leg is your dominant leg?
My right leg. I'm right.
Okay, we're going to stand on the left.
Of course. All right, here we go.
So balance is one of the biggest predictors of whether we can stay independent as we age. When balance starts to decline, fall risk goes up. Falls can lead to things like injury, hospital stays, even overall loss of mobility. And it's not physical. After a fall, people lose confidence. When they lose confidence, they move less, they lose more muscle, and it just becomes a perpetual cycle. According to the CDC, 1 in 4 older adults fall every year. That's over 14 million falls. Oh, we're starting to get a wobble.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Programs like this one, you can head to armyresidence.com. They're free. It's open to the public. Again, head to armyresidence.com.
And for more information, take a look at your screen. You can scan that QR code. And of course, you can find out more when you check the website. There's all the information about the event. It's called...
Dang it. Sorry. Glad I just said dang it there. Darn it, I was going to show you. So at the end of each segment, we can have our own little advertisement. And as you saw on that last one, we are actually inviting folks in for Carrie's presentations. Whether we get anyone or not is kind of less the idea than it is sharing with the outside community. Come on in. As you will see, we've got one more segment that's been filmed. Arlena talked about how to indulge while remaining healthy as you age. Those are going to air this week. So on the 21st, so Thursday, on daytime at 9, and then Friday will be SA Living. And I say at 10, it's going to run sometime during that hour. These last few have run kind of about the half-hour time frame. What we will be doing moving forward is advertising. So we are coordinating these segments with our speaker series. So there's my segue. Another really important strategy we rolled out was to have quarterly speaker series so that we can invite the outside community in and keep with this theme of people at the ARC being subject matter experts. So we had one in March that was on downsizing. The next series is in June. John actually had a poster created, as well as about 8,000 of these direct mailers went out in the community. And we kept these highly targeted, so very high assets, high income. And this one is folks who have demonstrated interest in food and wine on the internet. So we'll see how we do with that. Again, I don't like to measure the number of attendees as our sign of success. What I like to do is say that we are dripping the ARC out in the larger community. We did ask to get some other, we have about 100 extras we asked to have on hand so that as our ladies are touring these next few weeks, they can invite folks, but also available for you all to share with friends and family. Now we are asking that rather than residents attending, that this really is for interested prospects. But if you know people that are considering the ARC or who may be on the wait list, this would be a great time to bring them in. It will be a 2-part series, and I'm getting a little jumpy. One of the other things we did as part of this speaker series is to create a whole new landing page on our website, so that rather than advertising and saying, hey, call us, we'd be happy to sign you up, and that means Crystal is either tied to her desk or we just miss phone calls, we created a landing page. So it is just up and running. Well, it's still testing. It should be up and running by next week. But if you go to our, shoot. Boy, am I glad I'm saying shoot on these. Yeah, my boss is in here, so. So what we've done is put, why are we having a speaker series? What are our featured events? And then we've got opportunities for folks to register for not only these, but our full speaker series throughout the rest of the year. So again, positioning ourselves as people who know what we're talking about, and we want the outside community to come in and take advantage of these opportunities. We have got some great pictures about where the presentations will be. If you were looking at this online, on your cell phones, that call to register button, you literally just click it and phone number comes up, and we are just trying to make it as simple as possible for folks to register. And that's all we're asking, is their name, email, and phone number. So in addition to the speaker series, another strategic avenue we're using is content marketing. And again, thank you to some of our residents who participated in this. This was a real effort to figure out what messaging we wanted to do, get a professional photographer in here, and really do some storytelling. So this was a digital content piece that went out, and I can do this. If you click on, or if anyone, if it targeted anybody, this is what would come up. And it is a beautifully done story where rather than just spitting out facts and figures about the ARC, it tells these 3 couples' stories. What is the ARC? Why is it such a peace of mind for them and for their children? Why did they make the decision now rather than later? We have in here our information about, aren't they great pictures? So lots of information about people who live here. It makes it genuine, it makes it inviting. So thank you. I see a couple of our participants back there. And we keep reusing this. So John does an amazing job when we send out, we still do some traditional advertising. We advertise in MOA. We do e-blasts out, and when John gets those set up, he links some of these stories so we can continue to reuse them. and the investment that we made just keeps paying off. So that is our content marketing. We already discussed a bit about our, where am I? Our community engagement. Diana is helping us build out an entire database. Oh, and speaking of which, Diana's leaving right now. Diana's going to the Schertz chamber. So that's really important to go to. We go to the Schertz chambers, the San Antonio chambers. We are involved in the military affairs committees on both of those. I am the guest presenter in July at that Schertz chamber. So we are just trying to hit it as hard as we can in as many different avenues as possible. Some of the other areas we look to build in community engagement, we are obviously going to some of the community organizations. One of our board members had suggested university alumni groups, which I think is a really good idea. People who are really committed to their former alma mater, and you would like to help introduce us to any of those folks, please come see us. That will be an ongoing project to build out this database. Art, music, travel groups, churches, realtors, financial planners, homeowner associations, obviously chambers, healthcare, and military-related groups. So we are targeting who we want to address. This will take a lot of time, and it'll take a number of us are taking our turn out in the community and helping folks see who we are as representatives out there. The other thing we think that is really important to do, and this is kind of marketing 101, what do you promote that sets you apart from your competitors? We are a true CCRC. As I mentioned, I was at the conference last week, and kind of to my dismay, I learned that the wave of the future is not going to be who we are, which is an on-site, independent living, assisted living, memory care, and nursing care. That is not what people are looking to build. People are closing their skilled nursing facilities across the country, and they really are marketing CCRCs as a one-stop shop that you can just age in place in your home. Now, the problem I see with that is that wouldn't that be lovely if we all aged so gently and needed very little, and maybe some armrests and maybe some adaptive devices, but wouldn't it be lovely if that's how our lives ended, brought in home health, brought in hospice, and we died in our sleep one night? We should all be so lucky. That is, unfortunately, people need more care than that, and we have that here. And that's what our team will market out in the community, is that we also, we have a couple different options here, a life plan or a life steps program. Some people are opting for that life steps, meaning when they move in, they just want a sum of money that can be used towards all of that, those adaptions as time moves on. And then they would not get access to the reduced healthcare discounts. But I think it's incredible that we can promote that, yes, we have that option too. If you want to stay in your apartment or your cottage forever, we can help bring in as much help as possible. But should you age in a rate that you need more memory support or you need way more healthcare than you had anticipated, we've got that here. So we will continue to promote that. Again, I mentioned with Tilly coming on board, she has a very strong background in the nonprofit world. In my mind, that is a huge selling point for us to continue to put out there. When folks are just getting to know who we are, we want them to know we're a nonprofit, because a nonprofit, mission-driven community is very different than a for-profit conglomerate who's based out of San Diego, and any profits that go to them and their shareholders. That's not what a nonprofit does. The mission, and I've worked for both. Many of us in this room have worked for both. It's not that one is good or bad, it's just different. So the mission-driven mentality in a nonprofit is certainly a selling point for us. We'll continue to talk about the phenomenal campus, the unparalleled number of activities and the level of resident participation, and the fact that we are on a secure campus. There aren't a lot of places that have the security of, 24/7 folks on duty, as well as a gate that you have to be allowed in and out of. So it's a safe place. So finally, how can you all help? As our sales counselors mentioned, it is profoundly impactful when they are touring to have you all be very welcoming. And I told them they could have the easy part and share all the really good stories, and I would just very gently say that they have also had experiences of people not being very welcoming or sharing aspects of the ARC that they aren't happy about. And I understand that. Not everybody is going to be happy all the time. That's life, and that is life in a communal setting. However, I would just beg of you to consider, who does it help if you're bad-mouthing the ARC to prospects? It doesn't help anybody, and when you are so welcoming and so helpful, it makes a difference in sales. I mean, people say, this is the place I want to be. I can see myself being friends with these people. So thank you to the vast majority of you who are so kind and so welcoming, and to those of you or your neighbors who aren't, maybe a little peer pressure to be welcoming people. It helps everybody here. Share our expansion. Let people know, former neighbors, former colleagues. Invite your friends to all these events. Tell them to get to our website and see all the opportunities they have to come and join us. And remember, there's money involved in this for you. We have a resident referral program that if you refer a resident and they sign a contract with us within 6 months of you referring them, that's a $2,000, not bonus, credit, thank you, on your accounts. That's significant. And more than that, you're choosing your neighbors. If you already know and like these people, please encourage them to join us. As I mentioned, as we're getting out into the churches and our civic organizations, please let Crystal, let us know, who are you involved with that we can either come and have speaking engagements with, or just point us to the contact person. Let us have that warm introduction so that we can get in front of them and just share who we are. Social media. Who has Facebook? Most. That's the cheapest way to spread who we are. That will be another campaign when Tilly comes on board. We really need to expand our number of followers because John does an amazing job. Our social media is so professionally done, but we need to increase who's seeing it. Right now, we're kind of preaching to the choir. We really want to get more people seeing us and following us. In this upcoming year, we'll also be doing more Google reviews, where we set up true campaigns where we ask people to write reviews on us. That is a huge way to drive people to our website, and that's what people look for. They want to know, what are people in the know saying about this community. So stay tuned. Some of these projects I've been excited to get going on, but we needed more hands on deck, and we're about to be there. And that is all I have, other than any questions if you have them.
Well done. Well done.
Thank you. Thank you.
I have two questions. First of all, how many people do you need to bring in a year to stay even for the people we lose to assisted living, healthcare, and such?
So that magic number is 4.5. 4.5 new entrance fees increases our occupancy by 1 percentage point. So we know we have to outsell the people who are moving through the continuum. There's pros and cons to it. We like to have our assisted living numbers full. It's a revenue generator both in assisted living and in skilled nursing. We will always have to outsell that number as we want to get our percentage points up. 4.5 new move-ins is what it takes to get our occupancy percentage up by one point.
Second, how many apartments have we taken out of availability for things like the art studio, traveling treasures, construction, storage, and such?
What a timely question, sir. We are running out of space. We have already had this discussion among our directors team. Tabitha has very gently been going down the list and saying, this is a storage room. Where are you going to consolidate your stuff? I'm just putting that forewarning out there because we are running out of space, which is a really good place to be, but people who are currently using some of those rooms, we're going to have to think creatively about how to use storage cages, how to make those rooms available.
So that's not counted in our occupancy numbers?
It is. I mean, we list 448 units. The only units that aren't counted in there are resident services. We don't include, so we still consider all of those as sellable units.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
I have forgotten, how many rentals do we have, and is that going to change in the future?
Great question. The rental program was originally capped at 10 units. The board has allowed us to go up to 20 if we need. We are at 10 rentals right now. I can tell you, internally, we would like to cap it at 10 because the numbers, the inquiries are coming, and we would far rather sell than have rentals. So right now, we are at 10, and we expect that number to stay stable.
What is the advantage and disadvantage of rentals? What is the advantage and disadvantage of rentals?
So the question is advantage and disadvantage of rentals. I would say it's different if you're the renter versus the ARC. For the ARC, especially at a time when occupancy was very low, rentals brought in revenue. It's about $500,000 a year in revenue for units that were not selling. So it was a big win. The other advantages for the ARC is that we have had a number of folks whose homes sold very quickly, their units weren't ready, so they moved in, and we got rental revenue for a number of months. We've had other folks who started as renters, decided, I want to be here the rest of my life, and they convert then to entrance fees. So for the ARC, it has been a really profitable program to bring people in. For the renters, it's just a different strategy. Some folks, as I said, want to dip their toes in. They're not sure they want to be here. They find out they do, and they convert to a long-term entrance fee. Others, you know, it's a financial decision. They don't want to put that entrance fee down.
How does
When
that
they-
affect healthcare?
If they do not put an entrance fee, they do not get the reduced rates for, the healthcare discounts for either assisted living, memory care, or skilled nursing.
You showed how we compare nationally. How do we compare with San Antonio? I'm not talking blue skies. I'm talking about all the other independent living places here in San Antonio.
That's a good question. I can pull that data. I mean, I can look at NIC map data is where we get most of this information. I generally just compare apples to apples. I don't want to give you data that I'm not aware of. We could look at all kinds of things. How does RIL compare to other IL? I do know nationally the numbers are just improving. Since COVID, we have finally exceeded occupancy from where we were in 2000. But I don't
I
want
was
to give.
thinking now that we're opening up to the general public, there's a lot of independent living places in the San Antonio area. And my other thing is, I think people still find it confusing that we're called the Army Residence Center. I think when you put it out there, people just skip by it and think that they're not eligible to move in here and just go on down the line to the next one when they're looking at on the internet to something that doesn't show that they have to be Army or military.
Well, you were right about that. And I did receive another question from a gentleman who couldn't stay, and a very similar question: how does the name Army Residence Community affect your marketing changes? There was a mention of a possible name change that was going to go to committee. What's the status? So I can give you an update on that. We did form a name change study group just to see a variety of factors. What's the financial impact? What do we think the marketing impact is going to be? What's the current impact that we are weighing on folks, as you say, who assume they can't come here? From that name change study group, we rolled that up to the board of directors with the saying, what's our direction? Do we move forward with the name change or not? We received several different proposals, 3 different proposals from professionals who would guide us through that whole process of renaming, rebranding, and we are now rolling it up to the board. It moved from a name change study group to the actual formation of a name change committee. The folks on that committee will be 3 residents, 3 board members, and 3 staff members to try to get as much input as possible. And our next board meeting is in June, and we expect to move forward with ongoing investigation of that whole process starting in June.
I just have a testimony on what you all were saying before. So when I was here and touring with Brandy, besides Brandy being such a warm and welcoming person, we were at lunch with her, and we had 2 residents just kind of like, oh, Brandy's got somebody, and they popped over and told us how much they loved it, how they wished they'd moved here earlier, and I couldn't tell you what a difference it made, because I did a lot of research. I did 2 years worth of research in a lot of different states, and the ARC became the established, can anybody beat it? And it was the people, the warmth, the welcome, and the atmosphere here, and it really made a difference, and that's why I'm living here.
Thank you so much for sharing that. It is profoundly impactful how welcoming you all are to residents here.
I have a couple of questions. Number one, the name itself hasn't prevented the much higher number of inquiries that we're experiencing. So I'm not sure that, to me, that's really a detriment. Your outreach programs certainly seems to be improving the number of inquiries that we get. Number two, because we have those much higher inquiries and we have a very limited space, 40 units or so that need to be occupied, can you project that this increased interest will in fact result in maybe 98, 99% occupancy rate in the very near future?
I love an optimist. I would not predict that in the very near future just because it's a lengthy process. From the time people sign the dotted line, we're talking many months out until the design studio works their magic and creates these new homes for them. It is not impossible to get to that 98, 99%. There are communities out there who, that's how they exist. It gets harder to sell when you've got less choice for folks to see, but it's a different marketing strategy, and you shift to a very robust campaign to keep your folks on the wait list very interested. And as soon as one is coming open, you go down the wait list, and literally as one person is moving out, you take the deposit for the next. So there's certainly, I came from a community where we were at 100% at one point, and I love that strategy, where once you get to that higher level, it's so much simpler rather than trying to crawl up and get 4.5 sales for everyone coming in, or everyone who's moving. I'm very, very hopeful for the future, and the numbers seem to support that.
Terry, can you talk to the numbers or any indication of the expanded eligibility? What's happening in that world for you right now?
The, since we expanded eligibility, which was at the end of February, we have had 11 sales, 11 entrance fee deposits, and 3 of those are from civilians. So one was from Blue Skies, who said, if you had been open a year ago and I moved in there, this would have been my top choice all along. And then the other heard about us from a newspaper article and had known Steve at Incarnate Word. And again, as soon as he found out that we were open, he and his sister are coming. So good news. All right. Is that
Mine
my
is
cue?
mine is a
Oh,
marketing plug.
I'm sorry. One more
Oh.
question. I'm having
One
so much
more.
fun.
It's me. Yeah. All right. So I have a marketing plug. Those of you that, if the year 1981 means anything to you, we just turned 62. We're open. Bring your kids. When your kids come here to visit, for Mother's Day, show them around. Put them on a tour. We're open to them. They'll be right here. The Baumgartners are proof of that. So, yeah, the class of 1981 just turned 62. Bring us.
Yep.
Long term.
And folks, I am
Come
going
early, stay late.
to cut it off. Thank you, Lucia. I'll stay up here. Oh, I don't have much of my team left. Some of us will be here for questions. Thank you again for sharing your time with us today. Such exciting times here.
Is that yours, laptop? Okay. I put her glasses up here. I didn't know if she.
Yeah.
All by myself.